The summer blockbuster lineup started with a pretty rough opening. Outlets are already predicting these failures to alter studios and their approach to movies permanently. Just like the Trinity bomb test, a trinity of movies just might be what's needed in order to save the summer. As the title suggests, Oppenheimer is the best movie I've seen all year, and I've been consistently watching every major theatrical release. Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan, starring Cillian Murphy, follows the life of Robert J. Oppenheimer from his life as a student to the end of his life in the Cold War, a brilliant physicist who led the Manhattan Project, was friends with Albert Einstein, and lifelong activist. The film works as a drama of the biggest moments in his life that shape his narrative. Isn't it hard to build suspense when you know everything that's going to happen? Nolan could write a damn masterclass in tension. Out of every film he's done, he ups the ante to the extremes. In some sense, it sounds like this should be easy to do, considering the film is about something as earth-shattering as the atomic bomb. But also, the film is about physicists and politicians talking for 3 hours. The film utilizes everything at its disposal to immerse yourself into each and every point of conversation. The focus on the cameras, the score, the sharp writing, and the delivery from the actors all swell together to have you gripping your armrests while two nerds argue quantum mechanics.
Truman needs to know what's next.
2,
What's next?
1.
Let's talk the score real quick by Ludwig Göransson, who had previously worked with Nolan on Tenet. The composition by Göransson is visceral and heavy. It pounds into you and adds so much depth and emotion to any scene it's used in, it takes it to new heights. Distinctly, I remember it being used to elevate the stakes of arguments you'd see. Even without knowing the subject matter like quantum mechanics very well, it's easy to get invested when the dialogue is paired with the score so perfectly. Music is used a lot in this film, but it never feels overdone. The beauty of the bomb detonation is handled exceptionally well in Oppenheimer, but it's really just the icing on the cake here. Everything mentioned above is really the meat and bones of this great work. I, of course, have some understanding of World War II and have seen movies and learned about it in school. Still, the accounts of Robert Oppenheimer, Louis Strauss, the Trinity, Los Alamos, and the scientists behind it were all primarily mysteries to me. I don't consider myself a dumbass, I just never heard of all these before sitting down and watching the movie. I, of course, didn't get the film the same way a history buff would, but it was still highly impactful. Oppenheimer comes across as a flawed but ingenious man in both the realm of physics and for being the Nick Fury of the world of physics academia. The film was smart to show so much of his life outside of science with his political endeavors, his love life, and his relationship with his colleagues, which were integral for painting the unique character of Robert J. Oppenheimer. For conflict, we see anti-Semitism, arguments about high-level physics, adultery, anti-communism rhetoric, anti-fascist rhetoric, anti-American rhetoric, government oversight, kangaroo courts, and of course, whether the atomic bomb was just. Okay, the 3-hour runtime makes a lot of sense here. There's just something haunting about your greatest achievement in life is would make the world live in fear for the rest of your life and beyond. Oppenheimer knew this. He knew the power of the bomb, and the film did a brilliant job showing the PTSD he endured as a result of his work. He was both gifted and cursed, stuck in an endless moral dilemma that we still debate to this day, showing the pain of his creation and how it affected his everyday life was poignant and added depth to his character that those uninvolved wouldn't understand. Each of these conflicts has tact and is nuanced. Not everything is explored right away, and a lot of these topics and scenes are left to marinate, to be revealed at a later time. This can seem confusing at first, especially if you don't know the history behind the subject matter, but it's clear, it's all intentional and peels back the layers behind Oppenheimer's life. Okay, I clearly love this film and have tons of reverence for it. I'm going to drop 2 subtle flaws I had. Number 1, Louis Strauss is a great historical figure to explore. I think Robert Downey Jr. was the wrong choice. I'm sorry, the makeup and prosthetic work to age him up was extraordinary. Unfortunately, his delivery to me just feels like he looked at Tony Stark and amped up the smugness and douchiness of the character. At times, his character felt distracting and was one of the few times I was pulled away from the character and thought more of the actor. Number 2, as mentioned, some parts were a little hard to follow, with scenes moving around back and forth frequently. This is clearly a narrative device the viewer adjusts to quickly, so this is ultimately just splitting hairs. Overall, Oppenheimer is a valuable member of the summer blockbuster trinity. For those of you doing the Barbieheimer double feature or the Barbieheimer Impossible triple feature, have the best time and let's go save cinema. Nolan was able to capture lightning in a bottle with an excellent cast, shooting, and socioeconomic themes that are still relevant to this day. I give Oppenheimer a 9 out of 10, a near masterpiece of a film. Thanks for watching, guys, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the next The Eric Barber review.